Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. We're gonna get right into it. Cleaning and lubricating an M&P Shield Plus. First do is make sure the weapon's clear, there's no magazine. Go ahead and lock the slide back. Check chamber, nothing in the chamber. Okay, go ahead and take your takedown lever. Put that down, and if you want to do the release, the sear release lever, it's right under the extractor, right here. Put that down, release the slide, take the slide off. And we're going to go ahead and take out your recoil spring, take out your barrel, and your slide. Okay, first we're going to start with is the barrel. Excuse me, I have some Hoppe's number 9 over here. Normally I wear gloves, but you don't have to. That's your choice. Some people's done it for 50 years and never worn gloves and are still around. What we're going to go ahead and do is get a good saturation on the outside. And it's pretty dirty. Go ahead and get that feed ramp and the breech. And I'm also going to run a patch or two through the barrel. So what I do is you can either use a brush like I have here, or you could use a jag. I like the jag, they work pretty well. Normally you don't pull it back through, but the jag is fine. It's not going to hurt anything. It's the brush that you don't want to pull through. You always want to go breech to muzzle in the direction that the bullet travels. Another patch on here. Push that through. And while we're at it, what I will go ahead and do, since the barrel does seem to be quite dirty, I will run the brush through once. And what I do is I'll let that sit while we do the rest of the gun. I want to go ahead and jump on the slide. You want to try to avoid getting anything inside your striker chamber, your hole right here. Try to avoid any kind of oil or cleaner inside there. Don't want anything inside there, trust me. And also right here where your striker channel is, avoid getting any cleaner or anything down inside that channel. This gun's probably had about 75 rounds through it. Looks like it's had 375. I used a little bit more. Where the slide's sitting. Gonna get the slide tabs here. There's 4 of them. Excuse me. You got 2 front, you got 2 rear here. I don't like spraying anything down inside your chamber here, or where your trigger bar and your trigger spring are, your turn spring. I don't like getting any kind of cleaner in there. I'll get it close, but I won't get any inside. Got that. Recoil spring assembly. Give that a wipe down. The barrel's still sitting. So cotton swabs are fine, as long as you're cautious and careful about where they leave the lint. These are not the lint free. You just got to be careful. What I do is run up in the rails. You can use a brush also. I have a brush that I can also use. Get that off to safety there. So for the most part, the cleaning part is done. Now comes the wiping off of the hoppies. We got to get that stuff off of there. So what I like to do is use a microfiber towel. That works well. You could also use a brush up in here. I found that microfiber towel suits me just fine. Get your nails in here. And for the breech, or where the extractor and your safety striker pin hole is, man, what is wrong with me? I will use a brush, but I'll kind of angle it down. As to not do anything up inside the channel there. Take a look at it. It looks good. Okay, and on the barrel, it's had time to clean on the outside. Wipe that off. What we'll do is we'll run a couple of patches of COP that I like to use. Run it through it. If a gun's extremely dirty, well, this is pretty dirty, but you can use some nylon brushes, something like this. If you really wanted to get down in here and do some dry scrubbing, you could do something like that. Let's get inside the mag well here. And when you're cleaning it, be careful, because sometimes you're accidentally raise this. This needs to be kept in a lower position. And I've seen some people just douse these things with cleaner. I don't. You can. They can. Your gun, your choice. That's my motive there. Your gun, your choice. Some people don't like using oil. Some people prefer to use grease. Well, grease is okay in its own right too. It stays put and doesn't run. But one of the disadvantages of grease is it stays put and it doesn't run. It doesn't relocate all the fouling. It keeps it all in one place, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's, like I say, it's down to choice. If you want to use grease, use grease. And if you want to use these, use these. Just be careful, because like right here, just that little bit of lint is sometimes enough to collect, and you don't want that. So there's nothing wrong using it, just be vigilant. Be vigilant when you are doing it. I'm glad that that happened. Okay, now we get on to the inside of the barrel. What I like using Clenzoil myself. This is a mixture of Clenzoil with tungsten disulfide mixed in with it. That's why it kind of appears to be dark. It's the tungsten disulfide. It's a powdered lubrication, kind of similar to powdered graphite, with the exception that it's like 1,000 times slicker. Only thing with this is it's a guessing game when your barrel's clean. I can reuse that, and I am going to reuse that, but I know the barrel's pretty good shape. So I'll do is run another one through it. And then what I'll do is run a clean one through it, just to make sure. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so the barrel's good. And where's my towel at? Make sure all the cleaner is cleaned off. What we'll go ahead and do is get to the lubrication points. And as per manufacturer, it's 5 points of lubrication. Well, actually 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And right here where your sear comes in with your trigger bar, 5. I just messed that around a little bit. Six. And you want to look for like wear marks on your barrel. Usually going to be around concentric circles around the front. And 7. I don't want it overly wet, but I don't want it dry. So I'll just make sure there is a good coating on there. Usually a rule of thumb is like if you can see your fingerprint, you have enough lube on there. Okay, so the barrel's lubed up. Get that brush out of the way. Now for the slide, normally don't put any kind of lubrication inside the slide. It's all on here. Some people have put some COP or lubricant on a swab and run it up underneath inside the rails. You can. It just makes for harder cleaning later, the more stuff you have around. So what I just want to make sure there's nothing in here. All the lubrication happens with the frame and the barrel. And as far as the recoil spring, you can put a drop on there and work it back and forth, which I don't really oil it that often, but when I do, it's just usually only one drop. So what we'll do is go ahead and reassemble. So we have our barrel, captured recoil spring assembly, and make sure this thing is centered or it'll give you issues putting it together. And we got all of the oil points on here. Line it up, go ahead and rack it back. Put the takedown up. And what I like to do is, where this lever is over here, your sear takedown lever, I'll just flick that up. Do a function check. And we know it's empty, so safe direction, dry fire. Okay, that concludes it. Appreciate you folks. Have a nice day, and God bless.